everyone knows what means Kalimera by now, right? Okay. If not, you have to come back to Greece, maybe tomorrow, before you leave. So, welcome to Healthy and Craveable of Chef's signature flavors and innovation in the professional Mediterranean kitchen. Today, we will explore the vibrant world of Mediterranean cuisine, renowned for its health benefits and rich flavors. Our discussion will highlight innovative approaches in professional kitchens and showcasing how chefs creatively incorporated Mediterranean ingredients and flavors while maintaining nutritional value. That's the way we have to eat. We will also dive into a signature flavor and sauces and elevate dishes without added complexity. The topic is especially timely, given that the growing demand, for healthy and sustainable food options. I will invite our panelists to share their insights on how Mediterranean cuisine can promote and improve health, outcomes, drive culinary innovations, and support sustainability in the food industry. Because here in Kalamata and here in Costa Navarino, we know that they support sustainability for sure. So I'm not going to take more of my time I have, because I want to discuss with these accomplished chefs. And you see how they are? The best in the world. Thank you.
Δεν είμαι και ο καλύτερος να μιλάω μπροστά σε κόσμο, αλλά θα προσπαθήσω.
Νίκο και το επώνυμο.
Μπίλης, Νίκος Μπίλης. Ωραία. Είναι όντως η μεσογειακή κουζίνα λαχταριστή? Και αν ναι, γίνεται να είναι και υγιεινή? Προτού απαντήσουμε σε αυτά τα ερωτήματα, θα πρέπει να ταξιδέψουμε. Καταλαβαίνω ότι αυτό δεν είναι εύκολο, αλλά ας βάλουμε τη φαντασία μας να δουλέψει. Νομίζω ότι έχουμε όλοι αρκετοί. Φανταστείτε λοιπόν ένα τραπέζι με φίλους, συγγενείς και ανθρώπους που αγαπάτε. Πάνω σε αυτό το μεγάλο τραπέζι να υπάρχουν πολλά μικρά και πολύχρωμα πιάτα. Ένα πιάτο με χοντροκατσαρή ντομάτα, με εξαιρετικό παρθένο ελαιόλαδο από κορονιαίη και ελιά, ανθό λατιό από τα βράχια της μάνης και ρίγανη τα αιγέ του. Μία φρατζόλα φρεσκοψημένου ζεστού ψωμιού, ένα πιάτο με λαλάγια, μία τραβηχτή τυρόπιτα μάνης, ένα πιάτο με λούπινα, ένα πιάτο με σφέλα, ένα πιάτο με καγιανά, φέτα και παστό, ένα πιάτο με βλήτα και τριμμένη ντομάτα. Νομίζω ότι όλοι βρήκαμε που βρίσκεται αυτό το τραπέζι. Σωστά, στην Πελοπόννησο. Είναι ο τόπος μας. Είναι στην Πελοπόννησο, σε ένα ευλογημένο τόπο και ένα ισχυρό κέντρο του μεσογειακού πολιτισμού και της μεσογειακής διατροφής. Γιατί για εμένα αυτό είναι η μεσογειακή διατροφή. Οι μικρές τοπικές κουζίνες, που η κάθε μία με την ποικιλομορφία της εκπροσωπεί περήφανα αυτό το όμορφο μοσαϊκό που λέγεται μεσογειακή κουζίνα. Γιατί αυτοί είναι οι αληθινοί πρεσβευτές της μεσογειακής κουζίνας? Οι τόποι, τα υλικά, οι άνθρωποι και τα μεγάλα γεμάτα τραπέζια. Δεν ξέρω αν παρατηρήσατε, αλλά σε αυτό το φανταστικό τραπέζι σίγουρα καταλαβαίνουμε την εποχή. Καλοκαίρι στην Πελοπόννησο. Αυτό φαίνεται και από τα υλικά που είπαμε. Και αυτό είναι πολύ σημαντικό στη μεσογειακή κουζίνα. Να βλέπουμε τα υλικά, να καταλαβαίνουμε την περιοχή και την εποχικότητα. Σε αυτό το τραπέζι επίσης βλέπουμε τη χρήση λαχανικών, ελαιολάδου, οσπρίων και λιγοστού κρέατος. Γιατί αυτό είναι η κουζίνα της Πελοποννήσου και της Μεσογείου. Είναι μια κουζίνα που κατά κύριο λόγο είναι χορτοφαγική, λαχταριστή και υγιεινή. Είναι μια φυτοκεντρική και άρα κάνει καλό στο σώμα μας. Αλλά είναι και κουζίνα του μοιράσματος, που κάνει καλό στην ψυχή μας. Και κάποιες φορές αυτό είναι πιο σημαντικό. Γιατί η ευτυχία είναι η υγεία και ευτυχισμένοι είναι καλύτερα να είμαστε μαζί. Όμως, ποιος είναι ο ρόλος των μαγείρων και των μαγείρισων στην επαγγελματική μεσογειακή κουζίνα? Και εννοώ μαγείρων γιατί δεν μου αρέσει ο όρος σεφ, νομίζω και στο Μανώλη δεν αρέσει πολύ. Και αν μιλάμε για μεσογειακή κουζίνα, μιλάμε πάντα για μαγείρισες και για μάγειρες και όχι για σεφ καταξιωμένους ή μη καταξιωμένους. Άρα, καλύτερα να λέμε ότι ο ρόλος μας είναι μάγειρας. Και πώς μπορούμε να καινοτομήσουμε δημιουργώντας χαρακτηριστικές γεύσεις, όπως είναι και το θέμα μας? Ας ξεκινήσουμε κάνοντας το πρώτο βήμα. Να μάθουμε από το παρελθόν. Ξέρετε, το πρώτο βήμα πάντα είναι το πιο σημαντικό και πολλές φορές είναι αυτό που ξεχνάμε να κάνουμε. Πρέπει να γυρίσουμε στο παρελθόν. Γιατί για να υπάρξει μεσογειακή κουζίνα του αύριο και οι γεύσεις της, θα πρέπει πρώτα να φυλάξουμε σαν θησαυρό τη μεσογειακή κουζίνα του χθες. It's okay, don't worry. Okay, sorry. Exactly. Thank you. Ωραία. Άρα πρέπει να γυρίσουμε πίσω. Ακριβώς το ίδιο ισχύει και τις τοπικές μας κουζίνες και παραδόσεις. Εύκολο ακούγεται. Τι κάνουμε όμως στην πράξη? Η παράδοση του κάθε τόπου είναι ο δρόμος που πρέπει να ακολουθήσουμε. Αυτός ο δρόμος είναι δύσκολος, γεμάτος τροφές και μεγάλες ανηφόρες. Είναι όμως και γεμάτος με όμορφα τοπία, ωραίες μυρωδιές και γλυκές αναμνήσεις. Η υποχρέωσή μας δεν είναι να αλλάξουμε το δρόμο, δηλαδή την παράδοσή μας, αλλά να εξελίξουμε το χυμά μας, δηλαδή τους εαυτούς μας. Και αυτό μπορεί να γίνει μελετώντας και εξερευνώντας την παράδοσή μας και μετέπειτα εξελίσσοντάς την στις επαγγελματικές μας κουζίνες. Γιατί όποιος εγκαταλείπει την παράδοσή του και τις ρίζες του, δεν έχει αύριο. Αυτό το μικρό βήμα είναι που θα φέρει την καινοτομία στις κουζίνες μας. Νομίζω το λένε όλοι οι συμμετέχοντες στις ομιλίες τους ότι πρέπει να γυρίσουμε πίσω, να γυρίσουμε στην παράδοσή μας, στους γονείς μας, στους γιαγιάδες μας, στους γειτόνους μας και να μάθουμε ακριβώς τη μεσογειακή κουζίνα. Και μετά να αγαπήσουμε αυτά που έχουμε και παράγουμε σαν τόπος. Ο κάθε τόπος ξεχωριστά. Εμείς στην Πελοπόννησο τα συγκεκριμένα πράγματα που πρέπει να αγαπήσουμε. Οι άνθρωποι στην Κρήτη τα συγκεκριμένα πράγματα που πρέπει να αγαπήσουμε. Να αρχίσουμε όλοι σιγά-σιγά να αναδεικνύουμε όλους τους θησαυρούς που έχει η χώρα μας και με αυτόν τον τρόπο να γιορτάσουμε τη μεσογειακή κουζίνα, που με την απλότητά της, την εποχικότητά της, τη γενοδορία της, την έχει κάνει αυτό που είναι σήμερα, τη βασίλισσα των κουζινών. Γιατί η κουζίνα της χώρας μας, του τόπου μας και της Μεσογείου είναι γιορτή. Και οι λαοί της που βρίσκονται γύρω από αυτή, ανεξάρτητα από σε κατάσταση βρίσκονται, το γιορτάζουν κάθε μέρα, γύρω από ένα τραπέζι. Και εμείς, σαν επαγγελματίες μάγειρες, πρέπει να είμαστε αγγελιοφόροι και θεματοφύλακες αυτού του μηνύματος. Θα κλείσω δίνοντας την ευκαιρία να δημορφώσετε μόνοι σας το φανταστικό ταξίδι που ξεκινήσαμε στην αρχή. Σιτάρι, αμπέλι και ηλιά. Ψωμί, κρασί και ελαιόλαδο. Τα τρία συστατικά που πάνω τους ο μεσογειακός πολιτισμός στηρίχθηκε και έφτασε εδώ. Μα είναι μόνο αυτά? Φυσικά και όχι. Τελειώντας το ταξίδι, ας γεμίσει ο καθένας στο τραπέζι του με τα υλικά που πιστεύει αυτός ότι είναι μεσογειακή κουζίνα και να στήσει μια μεγάλη γιορτή. Γιατί στο τέλος της ημέρας το φαγητό είναι θρέψη. Θρέψη όχι μόνο του σώματος, αλλά και της ψυχής. Φυσικά και η μεσογειακή κουζίνα είναι λαχταριστή και σίγουρα υγιεινή. Φαντάζομαι να συμφωνείτε όλοι.
Γεια σου, Μαρία.
Γεια σου, Χριστόφορε.
My name is Christoforos Peskias. I am a chef, a cook, or whatever. Before we go into the subject, I wanted to tell a little story. I was always enchanted about the history of humans, in how I will explain how it translates to food. They found in caves drawings of people gathering 10,000 years ago, and one thing they noticed is that they drew, and we know they sang. And I'm always thinking, is music necessary for our survival? I think it is, but it's for the survival of our soul. And always, when it comes to food, is good food necessary for our survival? Like Mrs. Trichopoulou said, at some point, humans started to cook to enjoy. So I think the heart seeks pleasure and the mouth needs to be amused. And with that in mind, if we come into recent times, the role of the good cook was held in society by our mothers or our grandmothers, and I remember my mother saying my mother-in-law was a good cook, and that was to be, it was, how I would say English word, she's a good cook. And my other grandmother was not such a good cook, so I was frowned upon. And how that relates to today, I think when we say a restaurant meal, I don't know if a restaurant meal, it's especially if you think of a tasting menu, I don't know if that is a thing. It is a menu, it is an experience that is healthy by itself. And the role of the cook, the cook was our mother, our grandmother, a lady in the village. That role of the person that amuses your mouth, is held by chef today, especially in times that we know that less and less people cook at home or cook traditionally. Now, supermarkets now, most of their, I remember a time when most of the produce section was the biggest section. Now the biggest section is the buffet. Salad bars or other kinds of buffet, meals that are ready. So the cook today has the role of he amuses your mouth. And I think when we go out to restaurants, the idea that we're going to cook, we're going to eat a healthy meal, it's a little of a paradox. So, especially if we eat a 10-course degustation menu, 3 desserts, and then you mix this thing up. But again, in other terms, how does us being Mediterranean, with our heritage as Mediterranean people, we have all the tools and we have the DNA to cook healthy. And that has to do with the horta, I mean the wild greens, it has to do with the olive oil. And I think there are things that you can do in food, for example, using acidity. I come from Cyprus too. We are 2 here. Flavor comes from the things that give spikes to taste, I think. Like, for example, lemon juice. You add acidity to food, it gives you flavor. You add garlic in food, it gives you flavor. And all these things that people call umami these days, I mean, we had it, we didn't know how we call it. These are things that add flavor to food. And I think there are a lot of things that we can do to make healthy food craveable. I think that was the object of the discussion. And we're in a great place to do that. But also, wake up. Also to have in mind that the restaurant experience, I don't know if we can say that a restaurant experience in the sense that we understand it today, that it became a theatrical experience, a dramatic experience. I don't know if that is a healthy, that is per se a healthy experience. But we're talking about one meal and we're talking about amusement.
Okay, good morning everyone. It's nice to be here with you today and speak about a subject that goes far beyond receipts, menus, or trends. What we call the Mediterranean kitchen is not just a regional cuisine. It is a living culture, a philosophy that brings people, land, and time together through good. We often hear that Mediterranean cuisine is one of the healthiest in the world. That's true, but it only scratches the surface. What makes it truly remarkable is that it manages to be both healthy and craveable, deeply nourishing, yet irresistibly pleasurable. And this is exactly the paradox we, as chefs or cooks, must explore. No? The black. Oh. Yeah. The Mediterranean food teaches us something fundamental, that pleasure and health are not enemies. They are two expressions of the same idea, balance. Think about a simple dish. Tomatoes at their peak, olive oil pressed a few kilometers from the field, a pinch of sea salt, a slice of bread still warm from the oven. It is a humble composition, but it carries everything: nutrition, comfort, memory, and joy. In a world obsessed with performance, calories, macros, molecular precision, this kind of food reminds us that eating well is not a technical act, it is a cultural one. The Mediterranean table is about rhythm and measure, not excess, not deprivation. It's about eating with awareness, with curiosity, with gratitude. As professional chefs, we live in a time of contrasts. On the one hand, there is science, nutrition, sustainability, innovation, precision. On the other, there is instinct, taste, emotion, improvisation. Our work is to stay exactly at that intersection, to use modern knowledge not to complicate food, but to bring it closer to its essence. Being a Mediterranean chef today means bringing tradition and innovation, heritage and progress, nature and technique. Innovation in this context does not mean inventing something new for novelty's sake. It means understanding deeply what already exists and revealing it anew. For example, when we slow cook chickpeas with fresh bay leaf and lemon peel, or use olive oil to cure fish instead of butter or cream, we are not just changing ingredients. We are rethinking our relationship with flavor, with health, and with the environment. We are redefining indulgence itself. The phrase healthy and craveable seems almost contradictory. Can something truly good for the body also excite desire? In the Mediterranean world, the answer has always been yes, because we never separated those two. The pleasure of food is not an enemy of health. It is its greatest ally. When a dish satisfies the senses through freshness, texture, aroma, and balance, it creates a positive emotional response. That emotion is what makes people return to it. Science now confirms that Mediterranean culture has known for centuries that food shared in joy, prepared with integrity, and eaten in company is healthier not only physically but psychologically. Let's speak for a moment about the idea of signature flavors. In fine dining, we often think of a signature as a visual identity, a plating style, a technique, an aesthetic. But in the Mediterranean context, signature flavors are not about ego. They are about interpretation. Every chef carries with them a landscape, the smells of childhood, the rhythm of the seasons, the people who fed them. Our task is to translate that into flavor. A signature flavor is not a trademark, it's a voice. When a guest tastes your dish and senses honesty, clarity, that's your signature. For me, it might be the taste of wild greens, olive oil, and lemon juice. For someone else, the salt of the sea, or the sweetness of a sun-dried fig. But what unites all Mediterranean chefs is the same principle: flavor and truth. There is a misconception that innovation means cutting ties with tradition. But the strongest innovations come from understanding roots so well that you can reinterpret them. Take fermentation, for example. It's everywhere in modern cuisine. But long before it became a trend, our grandmothers were fermenting olives, cheese, and grape must. Today's chefs revisit those same processes, armed with knowledge of microbiology, temperature control, and sustainability. And the result is not nostalgia, but evolution. This is innovation with roots, using the wisdom of the past to answer the questions of the present. It is about preserving the Mediterranean authenticity while making it relevant in a fast, globalized, and often disconnected food world. If I had to name one ingredient that defines the Mediterranean kitchen, it wouldn't be extra virgin olive oil or oregano. It would be people. Because the Mediterranean table is communal. It is built around generosity, conversation, and sharing. In every village from Portugal to Lebanon, food is a social act. It brings people together regardless of status or background. And that sense of humanity is something our professional kitchens must never lose. In a time when technology is reshaping everything, we have to preserve empathy in gastronomy. Cooking, at its highest level, it's an act of connection between cook and producer, between kitchen and community, between food and memory. So, what is the future of the Mediterranean kitchen in professional gastronomy? It lies, I believe, in balance and integrity, balancing local and global influences, intuition and technique, health and indulgence. It means embracing sustainability not as a marketing term, but as an everyday ethic. It means educating young chefs that creativity begins with understanding, not rejection, or of their roots. And it means showing that world that healthy can be sensual, exciting, and deeply human. We don't need to chase novelty. We need to rediscover the meaning. The Mediterranean kitchen teaches us the simplicity can be profound and that pleasure can be virtuous. It teaches us that food, when made with honesty and care, becomes more than sustenance. It becomes culture. So when we cook, let's remember, we are not just feeding bodies. We are shaping values. We are telling stories. We are carrying forward a civilization. If we do that with respect, curiosity, and passion, then the Mediterranean will remain what it has always been: healthy, craveable, and human. Thank you.
Bravo, Manolo. So, first of all, I would like to say thank you to Dimitris Trichopoulos, Adonia Trichopoulou, and Dr. Willett. I don't know if he's here, from Harvard University. Craig Drescher, I don't see if he's here as well. And who actually put the Mediterranean diet where it should be. Thank you, Adonia. I'm so proud to call you my friend. Thank you. And then I have to say thank you to the Culinary Institute of America that this project with the culinary therapeutics, I'm sorry, I don't know if you announced yet, but I announced it today, okay? It's going to be a revolution, which brings us back to the Greek roots, where everything started from the ancient years. That's what we had, Hippocrates, you know. It was Greek. And of course, a big thank you to Chef. Can you imagine Chef? I said Chef, huh? You know, Konstantakopoulos. Oh my God. Well, he was chef in everything, actually, because chef, it doesn't mean that to cook in the kitchen like our friends here, they said we're cooks, we're not chefs. But chef is to organize everything and not only to cook, right? So, Captain Vasilis, he was a very good friend of mine, with my other friend, Peter Papas, that he was not here. And that's why I'm here. And we're here because of all of them. And we're here because of all of them. Thank you. And I want to ask many questions, because maybe you have questions. They said it all before, as you understood. What is the flavor that you can make an easy recipe, very easy recipe that you like to add or you have already in your menu? Nikos? Open the other way.
Ξέρετε, δεν υπάρχει μυστικό για μια συνταγή. Αυτό που πρέπει να εντάξουμε είναι αυτό που είπαμε, νομίζω, και οι τρεις μας. Τη γνώση που έχουμε πάρει από τις προηγούμενες γενιές και να διατηρήσουμε τη μεσογειακή κουζίνα. Αυτό έχει να κάνει με την εποχικότητα. Ανάλογα την εποχή θα εντάξουμε και το κάθε υλικό. Τώρα είναι η εποχή, ξέρετε, σήμερα που ερχόμουν στο δρόμο εδώ πέρα, ήταν η εποχή που ξεκινάνε να μαζεύουν ελιές. Όποιος έχει βρεθεί σε ένα χωράφι να μαζεύει ελιές, το καλύτερο γεύμα είναι το κολατσό. Όταν σταματήσουμε να μαζέψουμε ελιές, που τρώμε φρέσκο ψωμί, ελιές, ντομάτα, ό,τι μας έχουν βάλει. Αυτό είναι το μυστικό.
He made me hungry. So, but what about figs?
Και σίκα, προφανώς. Η περιοχή που βρισκόμαστε σήμερα, λοιπόν, φημίζεται πάρα πολύ.
Καλαμάτα.
Καλαμάτα, εννοείται. Μπορούμε να κάνουμε πάρα πολλά. Από σικομαΐδα, από ξερά σίκα, από βαλσάμικο από σίκα, από ξύδι από σίκα, πετιμέζι, πάρα πολλά πράγματα. Αυτά είναι οι signature γεύσεις που μπορούμε να πάρουμε από τα σίκα.
But without adding more in
Τίποτα
there.
άλλο. Ναι.
So how you do that?
Ξέρετε, μια σταγόνα από αυτό το πράγμα μπορεί να δώσει αυτό που είπε και ο Χριστόφορος. Την ένταση που ψάχνουμε σε ένα πιάτο.
Only with water, right? You boil it, or
Ναι.
just wine? Nothing
Ναι.
very special, you know, like you have to add.
Όχι.
Good. He's a cook. He's a real cook. So, Christofore, well, you have been always, you know, very professional in the kitchens, even that you say now that you're just a cook and all that. I remember I used to come even in Kolonaki in your restaurant. My God, years. And everybody loved what you have been doing, something modern, all of that. How you feel today about it?
About what? Doing...
You changed a lot.
Feel about what? Doing modern things, you mean?
No, not modern things. You know, you were back to your roots.
I have always had a liking for tradition, and I think it was it Nikos that said it or Manolis. It's good to. I always found that in cooking, if you lose memory, you lose yourself, and it's hard to focus. And I always thought to cook and to have on a recipe or on a history that worked for a long time, and to innovate with that, it is to me an ideal way to cook. I have always liked it. And I always felt, I think, if you have me cook a traditional recipe like the way exactly my grandmother would do it, I wouldn't have, I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it correctly. I think the idea that tradition is a still picture in time, it's a wrong. Tradition is not a picture in time. Tradition is something that evolves. So I always felt that cooking based on tradition, but you will always have to innovate or express the time that you live in. We live in different times than when people lived 20, 30 years ago or even 60 years ago. So to me, ideally, you cook based on tradition for the modern world.
Manoli. Yes. I remember that we met in Crete a few years ago, and I see today the progress that you have. And I really appreciate that you keep the roots, you know, you are there. It's very nice. How you think like you could be healthy and delicious? Yeah. You think we can, not only one dish, you know, like in our kitchens, yeah. And sustainable as well.
Well, I think I thank you for your kind words, Maria. I think that it's very easy to do that. If you follow some simple rules, you can do it. I mean, first of all, when you try to make a recipe, the first thing that I do is to think about the time, the season. So then I take the ingredients that I can find. And not the ingredients that I can find all over the world, but near to the place that I'm cooking. And that's locality. So I have already two things that I have to think about. The one is the season, and the second is the products that I can find near me, around me. And that's already sustainable. Beyond that, when you use something that is seasonal, it's delicious from itself. I mean, if you have a tomato during the winter time, it's very difficult to be delicious. If you have it at summertime, it's going to be probably much better and sometimes delicious. So that's a very important part of it. Then, the third thing that I try to do, it's not to complicate too much things. I mean, if I am mixing too many flavors in one dish and too many ingredients in one dish, then in a way, if you are not a super talented chef, because there are chefs that are super talented and can make it wonderfully. If you are not that case, and you mix too many things in one recipe, in one plate, then probably it's going to be confusing for the people that are eating and not as delicious as usually it is if it's simple. So if we take all that together, we have seasonality, we have locality, we have because of that, sustainability, and after that, simplicity of the combination of the flavors. If you have that as a path, then I think you can do things easily delicious.
I like that. So, thank you very much, Annalise. So if I got, from all of you, I can see local, okay, seasonal, sustainable, delicious, right? Do you agree? All of them, they agree on the same thing. What about Mr. Peskis? You don't, because you come from Cyprus, it's different? Come on.
One thing, we have to remember, food has no nationality. Food has locality. So, and I think when people cooked, they didn't cook because they were from Turkey or Greece. And I think if a fish is swimming in the Aegean and it crosses and it is in, for example, in Castellorizo and it swims and it crosses the border, does it change? Does it need a passport or does it change nationality? And we tried, we try to understand food in terms of nationality, but I think it is not true. Food is local. Food is locality, it's not nationality. So.
Well, I agree on that, and we like food, but we don't have wine today. Why? We speak only about, like ingredients, for cooking, no wine. Yes, of course, Manoli.
Yeah, I think that's something that we need to mention. I don't know about the discussion, the scientific discussion about the health and non-health benefits of using alcohol. But I can say for sure that if we combine our beautiful meals, dinners in restaurants or at home with some quantity of wine, combined with the communication of people around the table makes it wonderful. I mean, the wine it's for me that I am a chef and I am trying to explore flavors, because that's one of the main things that I want to do. It's not only about cooking, but exploring what is the flavor of things. Wine is a magic word. And even if we don't have to drink too much, I think we have to drink some wine. It's wonderful. And it's a part of our gastronomy. I cannot imagine a restaurant working without having wine inside. For me, it's crazy. So yeah, we have to support that part of the experience, having that communal chef's table or any table in a restaurant or out of it. Yeah, Maria.
It's part of our to add to that. It's part of our culture and part of our religion too. The wine has always come. We are Christians. It doesn't mean we are in the right religion, but we are Christian. And you remember, Christ washed the feet of his students with wine. And then when you go to church today to commune, you drink a little wine. Then it shows the importance of wine. I think the way we eat and the way we drink, it has to do a lot with our religion. We forget how important religion became in our in our tradition of eating. For example, as Christians, if we were traditional Greek Christians, we would fast around more than 150 days in a year, and that shaped the way we cooked a lot.
But Christopher, I will say something, because I travel a lot, in the Emirati world, all that. Things are changing rapidly about that. So they're adapting wine in there, and very good wine, actually. So, like if you go to Abu Dhabi, you will have restaurants that they have amazing wine. And actually, I love Abu Dhabi because if you go to the Abrahamic family house, you will see how the Christians, the Muslims, and Jewish people, they're together. It's amazing what's happening. And that's what we should be actually today. And that's how food is. That we have to be all together. And like Christopher says, it's topic. It's not doesn't have, but I'm Greek, I cannot say. Greek food is the best. So, any questions? Of course. We said about wine. Where were you? To have a, okay. Because we love wine. Everything in moderation, huh?
Has nothing to do with wine.
Okay.
To all of you, the celebratization of chefs is the worst thing that happened ever to A, the chefs.
Can you repeat, please?
The celebratization of chefs is the worst thing that ever happened to A, the chefs, B, the people that go to restaurants, C, to cooking, D, all of the above.
Why? Can you say why?
Can I answer?
Yes, okay. Yeah, Lazarakis.
You gave the answer,
Yeah,
Mr. Lazarakis.
yeah.
Can I answer to Mr. Lazarakis, my friend? I don't care. I became a cook in 1992. Yes, in 1992 I became a professional cook. I studied management, business administration in the United States, and I decided to become a cook. I still cook on my days off, and this has been a wonderful career for me. But I had good days and I had bad days. And I still, at the end of the day, I remember one day I chose to do this job because I liked it. Now, if it became, if chefs became celebrities, I don't care. I liked my job. I chose to do it. I became a chef at 28 years old. It was a conscious decision. And I still like to do it, and I still cook on my days off for my friends and my family, and I still enjoy it.
That's excellent, yes. And I echo, Pescas, because that's how I feel as well. And I never call myself a chef. Actually, when they call me a chef, and they say, how we can dress you? I said, Maria Loy.
Sorry, Maria, I always say I'm a cook, but I'm also a chef. I know we try to be humble, but I am a chef, and a chef is a French word. It means chief. It doesn't mean much.
Yes,
it means
that's
the
exactly
chief of the cooks.
That's what I said.
We are chefs and we are
so,
cooks.
Nico, you said something.
Μ' ακούτε? Ωραία. Θα ήθελα να πω στον κύριο Λαζαράκη, συμφωνώ μαζί του, το ξέρει πολύ καλά, αλλά αυτή είναι η κανόνη της αγοράς. Όλοι θα θέλαμε να πίνουμε βουργουνδίες, αλλά δεν γίνεται, έχουν ακριβήνει πάρα πολύ. Το ίδιο σημαίνει και με τα κρασιά. Τα κρασιά που γίνουν πάρα πολύ καλά, ακριβένουν. Το ίδιο και οι σεφ. Όταν κάτι γίνεται, η αγορά το ζητάει, έτσι και αυτοί γίνονται διασημότητες ή γίνονται celebrity. Δεν είναι κάτι που το θέλουμε, φαντάζομαι. Όλοι μας αρέσει να μαγειρεύουμε, να είμαστε πάνω από μια κατσαρόλα. Αλλά αλλάζουν τα πράγματα, δυστυχώς.
Να συμφωνήσω, είμαι μεταξύ, γιατί δεν είναι όλοι οι σεφ, όπως λέμε εμείς τώρα, ότι μας αρέσει να κάνουμε αυτό. Είναι άλλοι σεφ που δεν κάνουν αυτά. Εντάξει, αυτό λέει ο κύριος Λαζαράκης και συμφωνώ και μαζί σου με το κρασί Βουργουνδίας, αλλά εδώ στην Πελοπόννησο έχουν καταπληκτικό κρασί. Λοιπόν, και θα πίνουμε από αυτό. Μία ερώτηση έχει, ναι.
Καλημέρα, καταρχάς, ευχαριστώ για το great event. Από τα πιο σημαντικά events που μπορούν να γίνονται πραγματικά παγκοσμίως και όχι μόνο τοπικά. Ήθελα να πω και σε οδείς στους παππούδες και στις γιαγιάδες μας ότι όλοι αυτοί μαγείρευαν με 0 food miles. Ως προς το αποτύπωμά τους ήταν δηλαδή ουσιαστικά ένα όσο είναι, δεν ξέρω πόσο είναι το χέρι, να σκύψουν να το πάρουν. Και αυτό δεν πρέπει να ξεχάσουμε ποτέ. Ούτε 100 μίλια, ούτε 300 μίλια, ούτε τίποτα. Και πραγματικά είναι οδείς στους παππούδες μας. Τώρα όσο για το κρασί, να πω και εγώ να προσθάσω κάτω, μην ξεχνάμε μια και μιλάμε για τις ρίζες μας, ότι το κρασί είναι πολύ associated με την ελληνική κουλτούρα, από τη γέννηση, το γάμο και μέχρι και το θάνατο. Σας ευχαριστώ. Και συγχαρητήρια όλους σας, ιδιαίτερα αυτή την ενότητα που ήταν η ψυχή αυτού του συνεδρίου.
Ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ. Ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ. Και ευχαριστούμε και όλους. We thank you very much. Really, we appreciate for you being here. And I love that these chefs, cooks, they feel like this, they cook like this, and they support, for me, the Greek cooking all over the world. Thank you very much. Thank you.